Good morning, dear students. Today we will discuss compound sentence. We have already discussed simple sentence and complex sentence. Now it is the turn for compound sentence for us to understand. Compound means mixture. Okay, so in a compound sentence there will be more than one independent clause and they will be connected with and, or, either, neither, but also not only like that. In the complex sentence, we came to know that there should be one independent clause and more than one subclauses. But here in the compound sentence, the clauses have to be all independent, but they will be connected with certain words. So as we gave the comparison between Bangladesh and independent clause in our lecture on complex sentence, today we can say that in a compound sentence every clause should be independent, as Bangladesh is an independent country, but they will be connected with certain words which here at page 9 is given. But remember, this is not the complete list. Merely many words have been given. For example, and is a great coordinator in a compound sentence because and connects one clause with another clause. Then but, then or, then both and, then not, then only, then but also, neither nor, either or, otherwise, therefore, on the contrary, these words, etc. These words give you the connectors for compound sentence. Now at page 8, you have a long paragraph which contains all types of sentences, that is simple sentence, complex sentence and compound sentence. I will read out the lines and you have to see when I read how you can actually identify the three types of sentences from my reading. Bangladesh is an agricultural country. You understand that it is a simple sentence. She depends on agriculture for her economic development. Still, it is a simple sentence. As our economy depends on agriculture, we should lay emphasis on agriculture. This gives you the complex sentence. We have to develop cultivation scientifically because scientific method of cultivation can ensure more production. This is also a complex sentence. So in this passage, somehow the compound sentence is not yet coming. But as you know, complex sentence, compound sentence are like independent clauses connected with and, or, but. Let us go to the example sentences in order to find out how the compound sentence works. Page 9 again, examples. The man is rich but not happy. This is an example of compound sentence because the man is rich but the man is not happy. These two expressions have been connected with but. So but is the coordinator here. Next sentence, he is poor but honest. He is poor, he is honest. These two expressions are connected with but. Okay, sentence G is interesting. I always help you. On the contrary, you work against me. So again, there are two independent clauses. I always help you, you work against me. But these two independent clauses are connected on the contrary with on the contrary. On the contrary means as against this. Now the last one, I know you spoke against me, yet I am not angry with you. So yet is acting as the coordinator between these two sentences. I know you spoke against me and I am not angry with you. Basically, students, when you think about compound sentences, you have to think about this connection of two pieces of information of equal status with and, with but, with the other coordinators like both and. Both and, for example, both my father and my mother are in old age now. So my father and my mother are connected with both and. Remember, when you use both, you should always use and. You should never use to. Okay? So, for example, both Bangladesh and India are overpopulated countries, okay, in this way. Remember that not only but also gives you a kind of either or situation. Say, for example, not only Bangladesh, but also other countries have joined this year's Olympic Games. So, not only Bangladesh, but also other countries. Other countries and Bangladesh, they are connected with this phrase, not only, but also. And always remember that if a sentence has not only, then it should always have but also. But in certain cases, you will see that the also is dropped. When it is dropped, there will be reasons for it. But since we don't have the exercise here, I cannot give you the right example when also is dropped from but. Now, otherwise, therefore, these two words, they also are used for compound sentences. You can say, you have to be regular in your classes. The teacher can say, students, you have to be regular in your classes. Otherwise, I will be disappointed. Otherwise means, if you are not regular in the class, I will be disappointed. Now, this also gives us an example of how the compound sentence can be turned into a complex sentence. As I said, students, you should be regular in classes. Okay? Otherwise, I will be unhappy. So, this is an example of compound sentence, but I can turn it into a complex one. If you are not regular in the classes, students, I will be unhappy. So, this is how the magic takes place between compound sentence and the compound sentences. And you should be very free in using any type of sentence that comes to your pen. Do not really bother much about grammatical rule. Just try to gain the fluency by adopting the easy way of writing in English. Okay? And also remember that the complex sentences can be converted into compound sentences, and the compound sentences can also be converted into complex sentences. And if you want to turn them into simple sentences, you can do that also. The freedom is yours. Now, look at this. Exercise B, they danced, and then you have to add something. They danced is one kind of action, and you have to add another kind of action in order to make it a compound sentence. So, you can say they danced and sang, S-A-N-G. Oh, remember, in the compound sentence, if one clause is in the past tense, the connected clause should also be in the same tense. Say, for example, we have said they danced in the past tense, and then you cannot say and sing. They danced and sang. Past tense, past tense. So, this uniformity has to be maintained. I didn't understand what, then there is a blank for you to fill up. I didn't understand what you wanted to say. Now, here it is an example of complex sentence. So, look, the previous sentence, they danced and sang, or they danced and ran, that was an example of compound sentence. But I didn't understand what you wanted to say is an example of complex sentence. So, in a passage, you have to be able to identify which ones are complex sentences and which ones are compound sentences. When you will be able to identify the sentences, it means your knowledge about sentence patterns is nearly good. If you read regularly, then there is a blank coming. How would you like to fill it up? If you read regularly, you will be successful, we can say. Okay. Will this be an example of compound sentence or a complex sentence? You know by your idea that it is an example of complex sentence. If you read regularly, you will be successful. So, when there is a condition coming with if, it will always give you the complex sentence. And we are nearly to the end of the exercise here. Now, learning English is, then there is a blank. So learning English is, I can say, necessary or is important. Learning English is, I can say, very important. In this way, we can fill up this sentence. But will it be an example of compound sentence or a complex sentence or a simple sentence? What is your idea? It will be an example of simple sentence because learning English is. So learning English is the subject phrase, is the verb, and the learning English is important. The adjectival phrase is coming to complete the sentence. So in this way, students, we have learned today about compound sentences. In this way, we have actually finished our discussion on sentences. We have come to know how a sentence is formed and how many types of sentences are there, and then how many kinds of sentences are there. So with this, I hope the students, you will be able to write with greater felicity in your examinations. Thank you very much once again.